Watch your bones, pal.
They're not.
Nope, they not. No, you're not.
And I know one thing that we're pushing right now, of course, I talked again about the Rizzuto show and how they have the studio cams. So we have Studio Road and they have all the stations, the Point's the first one. Well, WIL now has studio cams. 106.5 The Arch is having theirs installed. And then it's going to be KSHE and then 101 ESPN. So every station, every show will soon be videoed. It's all going to be on YouTube. And another thing they're pushing, we do a lot of podcasts, specialty podcasts. So like if you're a blues fan, hey, we're not talking blues for 4 straight hours. But if you want to hear like hardcore blues talk, we have a special podcast for that, a 45-minute podcast just about the blues. The thing that they're pushing, start recording those. Even if it's just me and you sitting here talking, people want to see you talking. They want you talking into the camera. They're like, hey, that audio podcast, it's already going away. It has to be a video podcast now. That's what they want.
No, totally. And it's going that way. I totally agree. I mean, when I was at a radio station in Chicago about 3 years ago, we had a very similar situation where I was basically, I said, we have to go to video. We're an AM talk station in a huge city with a lot of potential, but we're not getting enough young people in the city. There's millions and millions and millions of young people here that probably already lean the way and agree with our branding and politics and all of these things. And eventually we started to do it, and it's an institution there now. I've been gone for probably 2.5 years now, but I'm so glad that they're still making those changes and moving forward. Because like you said, that's kind of it's not what everybody's after. There's some guys like you and me and Dennis that I spoke with yesterday that basically still want those audio podcasts to kind of exist in this world. But then there's some people that are just like, yeah, well, I mean, video is where it's at. Like you get audio with video. That's the way some people see it. They feel like if you've got video, you're not losing anything that you have with audio alone. You're just gaining something. So I understand it. We're trying to reach a younger audience every day. So.
Well, and I know we were talking earlier about the websites and stuff. I mean, we don't really post articles because no one reads anymore. No one's reading an article. People are, not clicking a link to read. They want to see a video. So we used to even just post like, hey, breaking news, Blues did this. And it was just the information. And then we found, oh, hey, if we add a photo, now people are noticing it more. Oh, wait, maybe if I just go and grab the former Blue and have him go, hey, breaking news, the Blues just did this. Here's my quick 30-second rundown. Now people are stopping and paying attention because you're just scrolling, and if you see links, you see words, you're not paying attention. All of a sudden a video starts playing, you see graphics, like, oh, what's going on? And now you're hooked in. Yeah,
you grab that attention, and then once you have them, like they're totally engaged. And especially with with podcasts, like you were saying, it allows radio to do more niche content that I think wasn't happening before. Because I think a lot of stations were like, well, this is what we do, and these are what our shows are, and we've only got so much airtime, so we're not going to start putting on shows that aren't really exactly what's going to hit everybody.
Exactly.
So I think that's a great thing that's happening too. And it's also kind of like a farm system for baseball where you can kind of like, hey, let's see what people gravitate toward and what shows and what hosts are doing well, and kind of move them up as it works.
Yeah, I mean, in St. Louis, of course, number 1, Cardinals baseball. Number 2, Blues hockey. Number 3, NFL. After that, it's pretty far down. NBA, not big. College, not big. We're kind of far away from the major schools. Soccer, maybe soon, hopefully. But that's why we had those podcasts. Like if you go to our website, we have probably 4 or 5 shows that are not on our station. They're just on our website exclusively. We have a college football podcast. We have a golf podcast. We have the blues podcast. We have baseball podcast. And that's more for the minor leagues and some of that stuff that you're not going to talk about the 5th shortstop in the farm system. But some people want to hear that. And that's what's great about the podcast is you can go after that audience. And like you're saying, we do have some of our young guys. We have a part-time board op doing the college football podcast because that's what he's into. We have one of our producers doing a college hockey podcast. Are we going to talk college hockey in St. Louis? Probably not, but there is an audience out there. And that's what's great about having the website to house all this stuff too. And then you can also push it out.
just so you know, I've got a community college hacky sack podcast coming out soon.
Very
So
nice.
You guys might want to think about picking it up. Just throwing it at you.
Are you working on any good names?
Don't know if it'll stick. I don't want to give anything away too early because
Someone might steal that great idea.
There's a couple irons in the fire on the name, so I don't want to. I'm just kidding. Mom is the word, but I'm just going to give you the scoop later on here off air.
I love it.
Mike Ryder, ESPN 101.1 in St. Louis, for joining us today. And thank you, everybody, for listening. It's been a great show, and more coming up next, actually later this week. More podcasts going online, YouTube, and also on SoundCloud, like Mike mentioned earlier. SoundCloud's big. I'm going to try and throw some raps up there, too. But you guys can check all that out coming up this week. Thanks so much for joining us.
No, you're not really ready. Hey.
Are you ready?
Really ready.